सुनाई दिया? सुनाई दिया? अब सुनाई दिया? ठीक है। और है क्या?
We'll start in 2 minutes. Benny ma'am, we can start.
Yes, ma'am.
Benny ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Good morning to all dignitaries and participants. Very shortly, we are going to start our webinar. Please follow the certain instructions. All are requested to keep on your videos and keep your mics mute. In the beginning of the webinar, pre-test link will be given. Kindly submit it within given time. At the end of the webinar, post-test feedback link will be provided. Each participant must fill them to receive the e-certificate. You can also post your queries in a QA box and all will be answered at the end of the session. Life is a journey filled with new possibilities every day, and our attitudes towards the life determines the life's attitude towards us. If you cannot figure out your purpose, figure out your passion, for your passion will lead you right into your purpose. I, Professor Dr. Benny Susan Chako, State Secretary of Nursing Teachers Association of India, Chhattisgarh branch, would like to introduce our third webinar on competency-based nursing education. It is a one-day webinar. There is no greater gift you can give or receive that to honor your calling. That's why we are born and how you become most truly alive. Education is the manifestation of divine perfection already existing in man. Education helps in developing the knowledge, skill, and attitude. Education is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. Competency-based learning refers to systems of instruction, assessment, grading, and academic reporting, which are based on the learner. Competency is the capability to apply or use a set of related knowledge, skill, and abilities. The 5 key competencies of the educations are self-awareness, self-management, self-awareness, relationship skills, and relationship decision. Where there is no vision, there people perish. So it's a time to come together, to break the bond and work together for our goal. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Rupa Verma, Principal, Sitabai Nagpur College of Nursing for Women's, Nagpur, Maharashtra. She is a person with visionary quality and transformational leader. Madam, we are really blessed with your esteemed presence. We are sure we all will be benefited with your session. Now, It's the time to seek the blessings of the Lord Almighty. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and life without prayer is a life without power. So let's join together for a prayer song.
सुबह सवेरे लेकर तेरा नाम प्रभु, करते हैं हम शुरू आज का काम प्रभु। सुबह सवेरे लेकर तेरा नाम प्रभु, करते हैं हम शुरू आज का काम प्रभु, करते हैं हम शुरू आज का काम प्रभु। शुद्ध भाव से तेरा ध्यान लगाए हम, विद्या का वरदान तुम्हीं से पाए हम। शुद्ध भाव से तेरा ध्यान लगाए हम, विद्या का वरदान तुम्हीं से पाए हम। हाँ, विद्या का वरदान तुम्हीं से पाए हम। तुम्हीं से है आगाज तुम्हीं अंजाम प्रभु, करते हैं हम शुरू आज का काम प्रभु। सुबह सवेरे लेकर तेरा नाम प्रभु, करते हैं हम शुरू आज का काम प्रभु।
Moving forward, now I call upon our eminent leader, mentor, inspirational person who always stands with us in all our success throughout the year. Yes, it's our State President, Nursing Teachers Association of India, Chhattisgarh branch, Professor Dr. Mrs. Shelvina D. Nand, for welcome address and to unveil the theme of our national webinar 2022. Welcome, madam. Over to you.
Thank you, Benny ma'am. तोड़ दे ये हमारा हौसला कभी, तोड़ दे ये हमारा हौसला कभी, मुसीबत की ये औकात ही नहीं। मंजिलों के कायल जानते हैं सब, मंजिलों के कायल जानते हैं सब, सब्र से बड़ी ताकत ही नहीं, सब्र से बड़ी ताकत ही नहीं। Good morning, one and all. It gives me immense pleasure and delight to welcome you all in today's webinar. Chhattisgarh State Branch is extremely proud and privileged to organize this webinar. First of all, I extend my sincere gratitude to God Almighty for His grace and mercy. I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to office bearers of NTI CG State Branch for coming together and joining together always as a great team. Now, may I take this privilege to welcome all honorable guests, dignitaries, and to extend a further word of welcome to everyone who have joined us today. The success of any mega event is determined by the inspiring presence of a great personality who lends a charisma to the occasion. And we are extremely privileged to extend a hearty welcome to our most revered resource person, Professor Dr. Rupa Verma, Principal MKSS Sitabai, Nargunkankar College of Nursing for Women, Nagpur, Maharashtra. Her unmatched stature as an academician is viewed for her concerts. Though she has attained glory in her domain, her modesty, simplicity, and humanity govern her action and social relation. I am glad to welcome her. We are honored to have your gracious presence, ma'am. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. It is not our abilities, but persistence that ultimately lead us to our greatest achievement. Yes, I also take this opportunity to welcome our moderator, Professor Dr. Bhuvneshwari Das, CG State Joint Secretary, NTI, Associate Professor, Government College of Nursing, Kabirdham, Chhattisgarh. Leader become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others, said John Maxwell. Now I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Dr. Farooq Khan, National President, the NTI India, Principal of Academy of Nursing Sciences and Hospital, Gwalior. He is always proactive to shoulders great responsibilities, and he is a pillar of support to all our endeavors. I would also like to welcome Professor Dr. Manish Kumar, National Secretary General, the Nursing Teachers Association of India. He is very hardworking and generous person. I would also like to welcome Professor Poonam Thakur, National Treasurer, Nursing Teachers Association of India, a very dedicated, enthusiastic, and self-motivated person. I take this opportunity to extend hearty welcome to all the principals, teachers, nursing superintendent, nurses, nursing students, all guests, staff members who accepted our invitation and spared precious time out of their busy schedule. Now, I would like to introduce the topic of today's webinar, that is competency-based nursing education. To unlock the treasure of tomorrow, one has to find the key in the desert today. The service towards humanity is a vocation for the chosen people of God. So to provide the expert care and knowledge for the upbringing of the healthy society and living. To enrich the trees, the root should have the capability to bear it. There is quite revolution at work in education that started over 25 years ago. New directions for learning and being advocated in all levels and types of education. Increasing amount of information and new technologies. Increasing demands for accountability. A major focus is a competency-based approach to all levels and types of education. So what is competence? Competence is the set of demonstrable characteristics and skills that enable and improve the efficiency or performance. What are the core competencies? So the core competencies are communication skills, assessment intervention skill, computing skills, critical thinking skills, human caring and relationship skills, managing skills, leadership skills, teaching skills, knowledge integration skills, etc. What is competency-based education? Competency-based education focused on outcomes that are linked to workforce needs as defined by employers and the profession. Competency-based education is defined as an instructional system in which a performance-based learning process is used. Competency-based education is a combination of the knowledge, attitude, and skills necessary to meet standard of practice. Now, question arises, why competency-based education? It is needed as evidence that anyone who completes a degree or course, we know that there is disconnection between education and real-world performance expectations. For that, competency-based education is required. To develop essential performance skills, competency-based education is required. To prepare learners to function and be successful, competency-based education is required. for greater accountability for the cost and time, for extensive learning programs, for regulatory, legal, external standard, and quality measure require demonstration of competencies. For personal, professional development, competency-based education is required. Even to advance one's career and make positive contribution to organization and society, competency-based nursing education is required. The competency leads to an improved quality of care and patient satisfaction. And as the patient satisfied, it helps to bring the change, the view of society towards the nursing profession, and it also improves the nursing education. The change in the centuries bring a lot of revolution in the educational and technical field of nursing, starting from the providing care to the sick and injured. Leading the hospital sector is a great leap in the profession. The role enhances from a caregiver to the manager and a leader. And this scenario changed because of the introduction of competency-based nursing education. The quality of education shines in the skill of the students. Nursing education is not merely imparting knowledge about a particular subject on the specialty, but it is the upbringing of the future of the health, the fine quality of skills, the ability to make decision, the development of a manager and the leader to deal with the healthcare team members to endure the quality of service. Knowledge is a clear water where the person's behavior and attitude reflect. It is not only about providing education, but to prepare the individual for life. The functional ability of the individual matters as a human being in the society, and this leads to the better nation making worldwide. Giving your hands to serve, your heart to love, and enlighten your mind with knowledge, said Mother Teresa. So keeping this in mind, we have organized this webinar. Hope it will be extremely beneficial for you all. And to add on with our eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Rupa Verma. And at the end, I would like to say, वो जो शोर मचाते हैं भीड़ में, वो जो शोर मचाते हैं भीड़ में, भीड़ ही बनकर रह जाते हैं, वही पाते हैं जिंदगी में सफलता, वही पाते हैं जिंदगी में सफलता, जो खामोशी से अपना काम कर जाते हैं, जो खामोशी से अपना काम कर जाते हैं. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, for your words and unveiling the theme. Now, I would like to introduce a man of great vision and mission who always supports us to fulfill our dreams, our professional growth in Chhattisgarh. Yes, it's none other than Dr. Farooq Khan, National President, NTAI, to speak few motivational words to all our members and participants. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Benny ma'am. Thank you so much. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. NTI Chhattisgarh branch is organizing today's national e-seminar on competency-based nursing education. And today's eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Rupa Verma, State Secretary, NTI Maharashtra, Principal at Sitabai Nargundkar College of Nursing for Women, Nagpur. Today, she will elaborate today's topic, competency-based nursing education. And the few things which has been told by the State President of Chhattisgarh, Professor Dr. Selvina Dinan, are really the competency-based nursing education is very much required nowadays. And I would like to say that today's NTI main headquarter person also have joined Dr. Manish Kumar, National Secretary, Professor Poonam Thakur, National Treasurer. And I congratulate all the organizing team members, especially Professor Dr. Shalvina Dinan, President Chhattisgarh NTI branch, and Professor Dr. Benny Susan ma'am, Chhattisgarh State Secretary, NTI branch, for selecting this very specific and excellent topic, which has been chosen to aware our nursing fraternity regarding competency-based nursing education. And if we talk about the competency-based nursing education, it is an emerging trend in nursing education, which offers degree advancement at a significant time and cost saving based on skill. This education trend may promote the attainment of all the bachelor degree in nursing, because it also allows students to progress at their own pace and has been well received by the nursing students. And many associate degree graduates begin this career after graduation working full-time and find returning to school difficult because of time and financial constraints. The push for nursing graduate from associate degree program to continue their education continue to increase. This competency-based nursing education will help to them. And one of the person has defined this education as one in which assessment ensure that graduates have the essential knowledge, skill, and attitudes to enter the work phase. And as we know, time is going very fast. So further things regarding competency-based nursing education will be elaborated by today's eminent speaker. And today's this webinar is having the pre-test. So I would like to say all the participants to attend the pre-test. As soon as after this webinar will end, the post-test come feedback link will be provided in YouTube also and Zoom platform also. So once again, I congratulate entire organizing committee members of this webinar and all the best to the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for throwing your light on this particular topic. And thank you very much for your esteemed presence.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would also like to introduce Dr. Manish Kumar, State Secretary, National NTAI, who works 24/7 for the upliftment of nursing profession, always ready and motivate with different ideas, and a person there for our support. Let me take this hour to introduce our National Treasurer, Professor Poonam Thakur, always ready to support us in all our events. Welcome, sir, and welcome, madam. Before we start our session, now I call upon a person behind the screen and down to earth, young and enthusiastic personality. Yes, it's none other than our Dr. Bhuvneshwari Das, Assistant Professor, Government College of Nursing, Kabirdham, and Joint Secretary of Nurses Teachers Training Association of India, Chhattisgarh, to moderate our today's session. Handing over mic to you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Benny ma'am. Respected resource person ma'am, Dr. Rupa Verma, Dr. Farooq sir, Shalvina madam, Benny madam, and all respected dignitaries, Sabina ma'am, Uma ma'am, everybody. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to introduce our today's resource person, Dr. Rupa Verma. I am proud to introduce madam. Madam has completed, madam is presently working in Sita Bhai. Madam is presently working as principal in MKSSS Sita Bhai, Nargunkar College of Nursing, Nagpur. Madam has completed her graduation, BSc Nursing from PG College of Nursing, Bhilai, then Masters in Child Health Nursing from MGR University, Chennai. Madam has completed her PhD Nursing from Datta Meghe University, Wardha. Then Madam has completed additional qualification in computer education from Aptech Computer Education, and recently Madam has been Madam has been added her another feather in her educational qualification as health on health research fundamentals from the Allied Cerebral MCL online certification course. Madam has got more than 20 years of experience in nursing education and administration. Madam is presently Madam has got many appreciations from the different organizations. In that, Madam has got recently, she has inducted in Hall of Fame by Nursing Scholars Society. She has got appreciation award from the TNI Maharashtra State Branch in recognition of selfless contribution as Vice President TNI Vidarbha branch and the tenure of 2016-22. Then Madam has got appreciation certificate for reviewing articles in journals in advanced in medical and medicine research. Web of Science Journal Index Scoopers in 2022. Madam has got many appreciation from the Yuva Dut March, then a certificate as a reviewing from the article in Indian Nursing Journal of Nursing Science, Modic publication. Then she has received Best Teacher Award by Nursing Teacher Association of India. Madam has received the appreciation letter from the Walter and Kohler publication for promoting digital education among the student and staff in College of Nursing. Then Madam has got other appreciation for a certificate from the Chaitanya Medical Foundation, Bangalore, for promoting and integrating the information and communication technology into nursing science. Then Madam has got another appreciation letter from Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, National Association of Engineers, Nagpur. Madam has received Nursing Teacher Association of India Office Head as Gwalior, as State Secretary of Maharashtra from NTI, Nagpur branch. Then Madam has received another appreciation letter from Springfield Publication for organizing National Conference on Next Generation Nursing in 2020. Then Madam has got National Education Award from Devang Mehta Regional Round Educational Leadership Award in 2018. Madam has got Devang Mehta National Education Award in 2017 also. Then Madam has got appreciation letter from the Leprosy Elimination and Action Program for participating in CME as expert faculty from 2007 to 2015. And in that, Madam has trained more than 3,500 nursing faculty and paramedical students regarding early education, early detection, treatment, and rehabilitation of nursing patients. Appreciation letter from the Madam has received appreciation letter from the Chairman Maharshi Karve Stri Shikshan Sansthan for actively participating in national seminars on women entrepreneurs through science and technology in 2022. Madam have received appreciation letter from the Secretary of Geriatric Secretary of India, Vidarbha chapter, for active participation in organizing state level workshop on theme healthy aging and making the difference. Along with that, many other appreciation award Madam has got, but if I read, the time will pass on. So let us go to another feather on Madam Cap. So contribution, Madam has got contribution to the book chapter, books also. She has received, she is the contribution for the official reviewer in the GWALT Fundamental Concept and Skill of the Nursing essay from Elsevier publication. Then forwarded return for textbook of applied sociology for BSc nursing students under the author Dr. Rebecca Shales Jadhav. Then Madam is the first author of midwifery practical record book by Genesis publication. Then she has contributed in the pathology, pharmacology and genetics by Dr. Sharada Ramesh from Springfield publication. Madam is the editor-in-chief of the many journals, national and international journals. Madam is the reviewer of the many medical and nursing national as well as international journals. Madam has presented n number of publications in national and international journals, as well as she has published her articles in newspaper as well as in many of the scoopers and index journals. Madam is holding the post on at Associate President rightly as Vice President at Trained Nurses Association of India, Vidarbha branch, regional branch of Maharashtra State. Then she is the State Secretary of Maharashtra Nursing Teacher Association of India, NTI. Madam has done many voluntary activity during the lockdown. In that, Madam is basically the very important is voluntary services to teach, train and counsel around 80 staff nurses and assistant nurses to prepare them for the COVID care services at Asha Hospital, Kamchi from 16th October 2020 to 31st December 2020. Madam has completed IGOT training for COVID and encouraged the staff and students to do so. Madam has organized many national webinars for the students as well as for the staff during this past period. Then Madam has participated in many of the participated as well as she has She has been as a keynote speaker, resource person in many national and international journals. Then Madam has completed her. She acted as examiner in the many of the universities like Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Delhi, Ahilya Visvesvaraya, Indore, Rani Durgavati University, Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, Nasik, then Datta Megi University of Medical Sciences deemed to be university, Chhattisgarh Ayush Health Sciences University, Pandit Bidi Sharma University of Health Sciences, Rohtak, Haryana, then Pravara University of Medical Sciences, Loni, Maharashtra, Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences deemed to be University, Karad, and JJT University, Chunchuni, Rajasthan. Madam is appointed as ad hoc inspector by Indian Nursing Council from time to time since 2014. Then Madam is appointed as a member and chairman of the local inquiry committee for the staff selection committee by MUHS Nasik in various nursing colleges since 2012. Madam is appointed as program in charge for PCBSE nursing distance education by IGNU for study center in her college. Then Madam is a registered guide, a co-guide for the PhD programs at JJT University, Rajasthan, Junjunu. Madam is member of Board of Studies at Datta Megi University Datta Megi University, Nagpur. Then she is appointed as subject expert for PhD. Viva was at Datta Megi University, Wardha. Thank you, Madam. This is a brief introduction about you. I hold back it more than an hour. So with this brief introduction, I welcome Madam for your depth knowledge regarding this competency-based nursing education, and I'm sure our students are going and teachers are going to benefit that. Heartily welcome, Madam, for this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Guneshwari, for such an elaborate introduction. I am so touched and honored by the kind gesture, not only of yours, but of the whole CGNTI branch. And I am really felt honored and touched by the way you have introduced me. I was thinking ki bas abhi ho gaya. Let it be. Right. I think I am audible. आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Right. Well, a very good morning to all of you. A lovely good morning, a bright, sunny morning. And I am pleased to join you all here. And it's a matter of honor because I myself, I am a part of Nursing Teachers Association of India since last 2 years, more than 2 years, in fact. And when the thing came that I have to take this competency-based nursing education, I really felt, okay, let's do it. Let's discuss. Let's have an interactive session. So let's start it. Good morning, everyone. My dear esteemed colleagues, friends, many of my good friends are there in the panel. I express my gratitude to them. I express my gratitude to whole of Nursing Teachers Association of India to come up with a topic which really needs to be discussed, and to thought, and it's time that we should implement it. So learned Dr. Farooq sir, President of Nursing Teachers Association of India, at national level, Secretary Dr. Manish Kumar, State Secretary learned and esteemed Dr. Selvina D. Nunn, State President of CG Branch, State Secretary Dr. Benny Madam, always an inspiration for me. My one of my dearest friend, Joint Secretary Dr. Guneshwari Das, all the members of CG, National Nursing Teachers Association of India. Though I may forget, I'm forgetting to take some of the names, but I really owe to you all for giving me the opportunity at an outset to come and discuss with a much needed, timely topic, which as a nurse educators, we must emphasize, and we must do the brainstorming, thinking, sitting together, how we can improve the quality of education, specifically quality of education in nursing education. So I am fortunate, and without delay, I'll start. I must thank to Benny Susan Madam and Salvina D. Madam for making or creating a baseline for today's a topic which we are going to discuss. They very rightly, they have pointed out the key factors which make my work easier when I'll be discussing, and as well as they have made the task easier for you also, for all the participants, because it will be easier for us to discuss and understand the topic. So recently, in recent past, we have celebrated the birth anniversary of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji, in whose remembrance we celebrated Teachers' Day. I will kickstart today's webinar with a famous quote of him. One of his famous quote. I am quoting, quote, "The destiny of any country, the destiny of a country is being shaped in its classrooms," unquote. So this is what he said, that he has not only talked about future, say future ki baat unhone nahi ki, he has pointed out the destiny, the word destiny. So the destiny of any country is being shaped in its classroom. And when we are talking about giving competence-based education to our children, I must say that no student should be deprived of an education which will make him stand out of the crowd, outside the classroom. I am not only saying that the child should perform well inside the classroom. I am saying that the child should perform, the child must perform, the student must perform what is being expected of him as a professional outside the classroom. So that is a very clear, in very simple words, I can say that while teaching, while educating our children, our students inside the classroom, we must focus that whether we are making them ready, future ready to stand outside the classroom, being in the professionals and in the global scenario. So when if I say that we intend to convert all our precious human resources, all our young generation into precious human resources, then we have to provide competent-based, quality-based education. And this quality is not something which is accidental in nature. It has to be maintained, it has to be nurtured, it has to be nourished. And in this, we need the participation of everyone who is directly or indirectly involved in educating. And when I am talking about nursing education, so all the stakeholders like students, their parents, teachers, management, employers, hospital authorities, all has to sit together to formulate and to try our best to give the best of learning experiences, the best of clinical experiences, the best of classroom experiences to our children, to our students, so that we can prepare them. We are preparing them locally, sitting in the classroom at Maharashtra or Chhattisgarh, but we are preparing them to stand out, to go out and to do their role at a global scenario. So this is what is intended to, or this is what the objective of competency-based education, in one word, I can say. We have to prepare the children in such a way that they can do justice to their assigned job and task. So this is a kickstart. We'll move further and we'll see the other things. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, if we can change. Yeah. So let's start. Please feel free to ask questions in chat box. If anything is there, I'm looking it at and I'll be answering simultaneous. I'll try to give the answers of your queries and questions. So let's start. What is competency? As Shalvina madam already told, that in competency or competent, it means we are preparing the students to provide services. It's a combination of tasks and responsibilities. It's a unique blend of knowledge, skills, and attitude. Not only we have to provide information, not only we are supposed to give knowledge, not only our students are supposed to do rote learning by remembering whatever has been written in the textbooks or in the course books, but at the same time, They should understand it. They should able to perform all the skills intended to, or which they are supposed to do, as well as they must have a right attitude to perform the skill, so that they must know that whatever they have read in the books, whatever they have learned in the classroom, in the laboratories and clinicals, where to apply, how to apply, and how perfectly to apply. That is the attitude. Whatever the students are learning in the classroom, in the clinicals, in the laboratories, whether they are able to apply it when they are in real life settings. So this is what, if they are able to do it, they are competent. If they are not able to do it, they are incompetent. It doesn't mean that they are not qualified. Yes, they are qualified, but they can practice, they can polish their skills, they can reread the course materials, and they can become competent so that they can be provided. They can provide the necessary services wherever and whenever required and expected of them. So that is the whole gist of what is competence or competency. Next slide, please. Now someone is saying competence-based nursing education, someone has said competency-based education. So what really it is? There is a minor difference, but what are the differences in the terms competent? So competent is a noun, I can say, a person who meets performance criteria, a competent nurse, a competent student, a competent teacher. What if suppose I am a teacher? So if I am able to do justice to my job, I have necessary knowledge, skills, and attitude to perform my practices, to do my job. That means I can say I am a competent teacher. In the same way, a competent nurse. Now, what is competency? Competency are the skills required. It is a set of performance required, whether you are well equipped with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and abilities. In simple words, if in Hindi I can say, the competence means yogya, saksham, capable, eligible, perfect for the job. So this is competency. So this means knowledge, skills, abilities, attitude, and behavior. So these are the set of qualities required. A person who has this competency qualities are competent. So then what is competency? It's a set of knowledge, skills, abilities, attitudes, and behavior. So competence is the ability to meet the performance criteria, and competency is the qualities itself. Now competencies, more than one qualities. I am a nursing teacher. So I am a nurse, I am teacher, and I always feel proud of it that we are a part of two noblest profession of the world, nursing as well as teaching. So competencies required for a nursing teacher will come from both from nursing side as well as from teaching side. So these are the more than one competency is required. So competencies. So I hope I have made the words clear: competent, competence, competency, and competencies. So let's work out, let's talk about how we can promote competence-based education, how as a teacher we can give our 100% as a competence-based nursing teacher in our classrooms. Next slide, please. Again, this is already explained very nicely by Shalvina madam, that knowledge, attitude, and skills. So these are the three things required for competency, or this I can say these are the domains of competency. Whatever I am learning, whatever I am teaching, my students must be able to understand it. Suppose, for example, ACLS or BLS. So not only the knowledge that what are the steps of procedure, this will be the theory part. When the student is doing, when he is practicing on the dummy, he is refining its skill. But when the student knows, or when the nurse knows that where is the time, when is the time to perform it, and when the time comes when she perform it rightly, so that shows that she has developed the attitude about the whatever she has learned about BLS at classroom, she has delivered it in the real life setting. So this means she is competent enough to perform the task which she has read in the classroom. So these are the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Next slide, please. Now again, as I have explained that knowledge means information and concept, whatever is written in the book. Skills means these are the ability to perform. And attitude, it's my commitment, it's my engagement. I am a nurse, I have done this training, I have done this course, I possess the required skills. So whenever the time comes, I must be committed and show that I am competent by performing the task at the time of requirement, at the time of need. Next slide, please. These were the competency factors. Next slide. Now, what is competency-based education? Yes, it's an educational approach in teaching, learning, and assessment. When I am saying competent-based education, so that means I need competent teacher, I need competent learner, I need competent environment, as well as not only by teaching my task will be over, I need to assess the students, and that assessment tools also must be competent. For example, suppose I have to evaluate whether when I have taught or the BLS, the theory of BLS or basic life support, okay, if the student is going to, if I ask the question in a theory form, the student will write down. So will this be a correct method to evaluate a skill? No. So for this, we know that concept of OSCE, objective structured clinical evaluation, or objective structured practical examination, or anecdote. So this is already there, but are we using it every time? Are we using it while taking practical examinations? So that is going to make a difference. So that these things and all we need to bring into live stream or into our methods, into our regular methods of assessment. So this we need to develop and to practice, to bring it in our daily life. Whenever we are going to assess a student for skill, we must have a OSCE. Already the Indian Nursing Council in revised syllabus, they have given the course objective. So whether this, we are evaluating the question which are in question paper, whether it is asked, it has been asked in such a way that we can find out whether the student has achieved the set objectives or not. This is the time that we should analyze it in that way, that these are the 10 objectives as very rightly pointed out by Shalvina, like communication skill, leadership skill, integration, knowledge integration skills. So whether the students are achieving it or not, whether while setting the question paper, do we ever realize it? So these are the things when we will do it in a proper way, in keeping in mind whether we are making our student competent. We have to set paper in such a way that we can evaluate whether the objectives are achieved or not. We have to conduct the practical examination in such a way so that we can know whether the desired skills have been developed and attained by the student or not. So then if all these things, it's a cycle. If everything will go in place, definitely we are going to produce a competent nurse and competent graduate from our colleges and schools. Next slide, please. It is aimed towards the competent-based education is towards gaining knowledge and expertise in particular competencies in each subject taken by the student. It empowers the student to take account of their learning and provides them with a meaningful and positive learning experiences. Many times it happens when we study a topic, we think that how we are going to apply it in our real life. Many times, many topics which are in the syllabus, sometimes we are very confused that where to apply this. Okay, we are learning, but where to apply? So the student should never feel this. They must know that whatever they are learning from the books, whatever the teacher is teaching them, it has something or other to do when they will go out of the classroom and when they will go and practice in the real life settings. The student should also know that whatever they are learning, how to apply it, where to apply it, and when to apply it. So this makes a competent-based nursing education, the purpose of competence-based nursing education completed. Next slide, please. The traditional way of learning the needs of today, it can't stand. The students are exposed to, it's the era of technology. The students, with all the information, all the knowledge, it is just on their fingertips, just a click away, and the ocean of knowledge is there. How teacher makes a difference. When the teacher stands in the classroom, she, along with the information which is available in the web, net or books, when she adds her personal life experiences, her personal examples with that, or the examples from the real life settings, when she adds that, this helps the students to be better, to have a better understanding of the topic. The theoretical knowledge may help the student understand the concept which they learn from anywhere, but in the real world, they need to have go-getter attitude, sharp mindset, and skills or competencies that can help them achieve their goals. And when I'm saying their goals, it is the goals of the curriculum. See, there are two things. When it's a profession and another is an occupation. So when we all are professional nurses, we are dealing with we are teaching and grooming the nursing professionals. And when professional, the word professional comes here, we must have a syllabus, a curriculum, which is duly recognized by our apex bodies, which, yes, we do have. We must have a registration council. Yes, we do have. And apart from that, we must be governed from ethics or professional ethics. So यहाँ पर उसका एक बहुत important role है, which will be seeing in subsequent slides. Next slide, please. The industries or the hospitals, they demand brilliant students in the crowd because they can be an asset for their organization, and they must be in a position to deliver nothing but the best. So this is the thing that our students, as I said, we are manufacturing them, we are grooming them, we are encouraging them, motivating them, and we are making them professionals, though locally, but they must be able to deliver nursing care globally. That is the from local to global, or from the student who is finishing or completing a course designed by Indian Nursing Council and all recognized state universities must be able to meet the demands at global level also when he goes out. That is the message. Next slide. Key features of competency-based education. It ensures equity for all students irrespective of their educational background. That is one thing. Equity and equality, these both are different terms which I'll be differentiating with a picture later. Just for now, you understand that we have to provide equal opportunity as well as we have to provide equity to each of the students in the classroom. It offers different support to every student as required to them. We have to respect the individuality. Some will be slow learners, some will be advanced learners, some will be average learner in the classroom. You have to, when I stand as a teacher in the classroom, I must see that I must be able to pay individual attention to each student in my class. I must be able to find out their strength, weaknesses, and difficulties, and I must be able to render support in time. Just listen my word that we must be able to render all the required support to the student in time in order to make them competent, in order to make them stand out of crowd, in order to make them to come out with the flying colors in all the subjects, and especially the subjects which you are teaching as a teacher, and you are focused, or you are very much concerned about whether the students are getting or not the subject which is being taught. So progress of the student is purely measured on the skills and knowledge gained by them. Definitely, assessment is very important. And apart from assessment, instant feedback is also very important. As fast as possible, we must be able, as a teacher, it's our duty that we are giving the feedback. We are checking the question papers. We are giving them evaluation marks. But whether we are giving it at right time. Suppose today I have taken a midterm exam, and after 1 month I am disclosing the marks to the student. This 1 month has been gone. If the student has really performed poor, and he needs some guidance, some support, he needs to do extra. So 1 month has already been lost because I have disclosed the result 1 month later. So this is the time where instant feedback, instant result, and the students has a right to know their performances, the result of their performances, the output at the earliest possible. Students are encouraged to assess themselves, to understand their progress and shortcomings, to take accountability of the result. And surely, of course, while giving the result, while disclosing the feedback, we must find out and we must discuss with the student what are the areas of improvement, what are the strong areas, what are weak areas. So if in these terms, if we'll start giving feedback to the student, definitely it is going to bring the changes in the scenario and we will be in a position to notice it. And this will enhance the competency factors in the students passing out from our college. Next slide, please. Now, you might have learned, and everyone, I know that this participants, we have galaxy of intellectuals, we have nurse educators, we have nurse leader, we have nursing teachers, and we are very much familiar with the word National Education Policy 2020. So a lot of things will be changed, and the change has been started because now we are preparing to meet the suggestions to work as per the recommendations of National Education Policy 2020 as in all our higher education institutes. So here are some of the key recommendations which I want to highlight of NEP 2020. The committee emphasizes on outcome-based education. Already I have discussed that what are the objectives of the curriculum. We have to keep in mind the student also must know that what are the objectives of the curriculum. Many a time we fail to communicate them. What are the objectives? So they are thinking that, okay, this is the syllabus. We have to write the exam because this much we are telling them. This will be the yearly exam. Here will be semester exam. You have to write the exam. Itne number ka the theory hoga, itne number ka practical hoga, and this is the minimum passing criteria. That's all which we are telling to the student. But whether we are telling to the student, we informed the student what are the objectives of the nursing as a whole, what are the objectives for the whole syllabus for at the end of 4th year, what skills or what attributes they must demonstrate. No. So this things has to be informed to students, to inform to the parents, inform to the even subject teachers. We have objectives for each subject. The subject teacher must know that these are the objectives of my subject, and at end of the year, when the student must able to achieve this objective. So when we start thinking in such way, when we start teaching in such way, keeping in mind the objectives, when we start evaluating in such a way, keeping in mind the objective, that is outcome-based education. And the next is competency-based education. Now, again, both are interrelated, but here competency means specifically the specific set, whether the students whom the graduate nurses whom we are creating, whom we are grooming, we are educating, they are able to be a professional nurse after passing, after registration. So this is competency-based education. Now, high-tech and high-touch model of nursing. This is something which we promote and we must promote. High-tech here means that inclusion of all the technological advancements in our classrooms. Like, as I said, that information is available in web in just a click away to all of us, to the students, to the faculty as well. So bringing that technology in classroom, our students should not learn only by traditional method, whereas a student from technical background or engineering background or management background, their classroom is well equipped with all the smart boards, interactive boards. So why not ours? So our classrooms, our laboratories, it also should be equally equipped with all the modern technology. Our students should also learn sitting in a classroom with ICT enabled, which is fully ICT enabled and high tech. So this is high tech learning. When we are in our laboratories, not only with traditional dummies, we must teach the student with advanced simulators. So this is high tech, bringing the technology in classroom, bringing the technology in our laboratories. At the same time, we should not forget the importance of clinical experience, the importance of touch, the importance of touch. When I say it's empathy, sympathy, of psychological support, it's a magical smile, it's just standing beside the patient or relative to give them or to support them. So this is high tech and high touch. So we, at the same time, we have to bring technology in our classroom and in our teaching methods. At the same time, we should not forget that we are dealing with human beings. Human touch is equally important. Unless or until I touch the patient, I cannot know everything about him or her. So this is the model which I can say this is a humanistic model. Along with technology, humanistic model also has to be practiced by nursing teachers and nurse educators. Then e-learning. This is an era of e-learning. All of us know and we recognize, we appreciate. That's why we are doing this webinar. We are away. Someone is sitting at different places, but this is e-learning. So not only for conducting webinars and online classes, we can ask the student, we can start some courses also where the student can learn on their own pace. Many of the courses are available by government also at NPTEL or Swayam portal. You must be aware of that. And so we can promote e-learning also, because in lesser time, we want to equip our student with much more of knowledge. And if we are giving something extra, apart from syllabus, the content which is not in the syllabus, but we are providing it apart from it in some way or other, in order to make them more competent. So it is a welcome move, and the NEP also emphasizes on that. Then multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary learning. Nursing is both an art and art and a science. So if we can chalk out some courses, some small courses of 15, 20, 25 hours in a session or in a semester, that can add an extra weightage to the resume, that can add an extra competency factor to the students when they go out of your college. Then promoting Indian languages and culture. Yes, gone are the days when for communication, English is required. No communication should be halted or should be hampered due to language. All the languages should be given due importance. Of course, English is an official language. English is the medium of instruction for BSc nursing. But at the same time, if some students are not able to sustain with that, we must help the students out in explaining in their own mother tongue, in Hindi or any other regional languages. So, and at the same time, all the higher education institute, to develop competency, we must expose the student to their culture also, which is very important. So these are some of the things which is emphasized by NEP 2020 and which is expected of the higher education institutes, including nursing. Now, institutional preparedness as per NEP guidelines, what we can do. Already I have explained this just now, like strengthening objective-based education, how we can do it by self-paced learning, by giving more of assignments, by giving the presentations, by giving the meaningful projects. And as already I have talked about it, that instant or quickest feedback and evaluation to the students. So in this way, we will be strengthening our objective-based education. Now bringing online education into practice, like e-learning, global knowledge will be there. It will enhance their learning, accessibility, flexibility, and efficiency, because in online education, if I'm doing an online course, whenever I get the time, I can switch on my mobile or laptop and I can study that. So I can study, or the student can study at their own pace. So these are the advantages of online education into practice, and as an institution, we have to fit into it. Then skill-based education, again, this is to enhance the competency factors in laboratories, in real life setting, wherever it is possible. We have to, where skill is concerned, and nursing is more of skills. It's our skill which we are going to practice for our lifetime. So problem-based learning, self-directed learning, team-based learning, we are familiar with the term, and it's time that just take the terms out of book, practice it, bring it to the classroom in every subject. We must see that students are not given only one type of experience, like lecture demonstration, sometimes discussion, or sometimes seminars, webinars. No, we have to emphasize on case-based learning, team learning, project-based learning, field trips. So wherever variety of learning experiences we need to give to our students whenever and wherever possible for a realistic learning, for a good learning experience, and for competence-based teaching learning experience. Next slide. Now, revised curriculum, it almost means it is emphasizing on kuch characters or kuch characteristics NEP 2020 की fulfill करता है. For example, like semester-wise credit system. Earlier, credit system was not there in nursing education. Now, in the revised syllabus, you can see that 1 theory hour has been given 1 credit, 2 lab hours has been given 1 credit, and 4 clinical hours has been given 1 credit. So this is semester-wise credit system. Module-based pattern, आपने देखा होगा ना, mandatory module, elective modules. Even in elective module, the student has the liberty to choose to select as per their interest. So this gives a freedom to the student to develop their skills or to learn in which they are really interested. So in elective modules, we have the choice, but in mandatory modules, we have to do it. For example, in first year, in first semester, we have first aid. That is a mandatory module. So this module-based pattern is in the revised syllabus, and it is related to competency development. It is related to competency development directly. Then competence-based education, already I have discussed what it means. And when you go through the nursing revised syllabus, you will find that it is more emphasizing on competency development more. For example, the last 8 semester, it is purely reserved for internship, which were earlier it was including in 4th year. Internship was a part of 4th year. But now in 8th semester, the student has to go for purely internship postings or experiences. So definitely it is going to, it will help them to achieve a greater level of skills and competency. Now, new examination grading system is there. So this all is in tune with NEP 2020. And at the same time, it will help us to enter or to start competency-based education in nursing education. Next slide. Right. So as this already I have said that students should not be the student's experiences and or this when student thinks that how he learned in his 4 years, it should not only lab, classroom and clinicals. They must be able to reflect a variety of experiences, including seminars, webinars, projects, industrial visits, hospital visits, e-learning, group discussion, focused group discussion, mock drills, and lot more. And to do all these things as a nurse educator, as a teacher, as a class coordinator, I must have an academic calendar. And with this academic calendar, to facilitate it, I must have, complementing to it, I must have a master rotation and clinical rotation plan. This, I know that everyone is doing it, but try to include more and more of the learning experiences as wherever and whenever possible, whenever and wherever it deemed fit to a particular topic. That will help us to make our student more competent, as well as this will help us as a teacher will be more competent to deliver the assigned topics. Next slide. Right. So holistic education, we always talk about holistic education. Yes, when we are shaping the students, when we are shaping the nurse professionals, when we are grooming our students, we have to train them to think beyond exam. As in the beginning itself, I said, it's not only we should tell that this is the subject, this is the examination timetable, this is the examination pattern, and you have to pass the exam. No, they have to think, their concept must be clear, they must be able to understand where to apply that concepts. And we must be able to train them, to train our students to think beyond exam. Exam ke baad kya? It is not the studies or the objective is not only is up to clearing the exam with flying colors, with distinction or in merit, but it's beyond that. Teachers also should recognize it. At the same time, students also should recognize the same. Inculcate practical aspects of problem solving. Yes, they must be thrown, they must be put, they must be able to face the real life setting where problem-based learning can take place. For example, example, in internship duties, if the students are doing it or are managing a assigned patient on his or her own, of course, under supervision. So this means we are exposing them to the problem-based learning, and this definitely we will be adding to their competency factor. Timely effort. Now, teacher has a very important role. Okay, how the learner will think beyond exam, how the learner will be able to do the or to adopt problem-solving method or team-based learning or self-directed learning. Unless and until teacher will not be involved, it is not possible for the students to do it. So teacher is having a very important role. Whatever advancement will be there, whatever technology will come, a teacher is always have a role, and a teacher is the best mentor for a student anytime. It need not to say. Whatever technology comes, it cannot replace teachers. Teachers cannot be replaced in classroom or at laboratories or clinical settings. So this is something we have to understand. We have to take pride in it, and we have to make this to students also to understand. So this is the whole beauty of being a teacher, and so that you can help the learner. Next slide, please. Right. Earlier I said that not only whatever written in course, we also train the students to understand what's going around them. They must not think that this is the nursing textbook, they have to read this and that's it. No, they must be able to identify and appreciate what is going around them. For example, for instance, if elections are there, they must be able to point out which election, who is going to be the nominee, or who is in nomination from, who is fighting from which parties and all. So no, I mean to say that they must be aware of the things, including the political or the local issues, so that this will make them a complete professional. This will help them to be this will help them in their holistic development. So this is that emerging demographic issues, for example, poverty or population explosion, or any other cultural issues, or related to because many of the cultural practices, it is related directly or indirectly to health. So student must be aware of the important or significant emerging demographic issues of that particular area where he is being practiced or will be practicing. At the same time, student must develop, or the student must be sensitive towards environment or environmental sustainability. Environmental sustainability, that means like, for example, like saving water, or decreasing or reducing the pollution, noise pollution, air pollution, all these things, environment sustainability, how he can help to improve the environment, not to pollute, and how to make others aware. So these are some of the issues where NEP 2020 is also focusing, and even in NAC, if we'll go for quality assessment, these are also very important. Then gender equality. Gender equality means women and men, girl student and boy student, they are working, they are studying in a harmonious environment, in a harmonious classroom or college, where both the gender has been given weightage, has been given importance, and no bias or discrimination is taking place due to gender, based on the gender of the students or even teachers. And we must be having a proper cell to address the issue if any arises. Apart from that, I said that nursing is a profession which is governed by its own professional ethics, and here come the importance of human values, professional values. See, we must teach our student that a right is a right, even if no one practices it, and a wrong is a wrong, even if everyone practices it. So this is the basic difference between what is right and what is wrong, what is expected out of them as being a professional, what is not. So they must be governed, guided by the principles of ethical and human values. So this is something we should teach our student with great attention, love and care. Next slide, please. Right. So this I said in between that I will make you understand with the help of picture what is equality and what is equity. I went to a classroom. I took a lecture of 1 hour and I thought that I have done my job because I have delivered the lecture, but I didn't bother to find out which student in the classroom, he got me, he understood me, he understand the topic which was being taught by me, and which student doesn't. So equality, when I am giving 1 hour of lecture for a whole class or of 40, 50 or 60 students, so this is equality. But after class, when I am assessing that which student got the content, which student achieved the set target or achieved the objective, which I thought, okay, at the end of my class, the students should know this. Who are those students? Who are those students who didn't understand at all? The reason may be any reason. It may be the factors may be from my side or the factors may be from the learner's side, but reason may be any, but I must find out and I must take some extra initiative so that the student should learn. Each and every student should learn the basic things which attain the basic level of competency which is expected of them. So the picture very well clears that the tallest person, he is able to see. Agar hum isko tallest nahi bole, and if we say that the intelligent person or the person who was well aware, well alert throughout my class, the student, he understood it all. In the second, one box is there so that he was a little shorter. So what I did, I made one extra box. I gave him one extra box. That means here I can interpret it as I may have to take one extra session for this student to bring it to the equal of the person who was fortunate enough to understand in one class itself. Some students may be there in the class who may need more than one extra class. They may, after the class, they may need guidance, they may need revision, they may need extra questions to solve. And thus, I have to see that the basic level, I must give equity to bring them at an equal platform. So this is the difference between equality and equity. And equity is very important. It's vital, it's instrumental for objective-based education. So this is the whole beauty of understanding what's equity and what's equality and how we have to provide equity to bring the student or to make each of the student competent. Next slide, please. Now, apart from that, ना अभी तक हमने बातें की कि हमारा क्लासरूम अच्छा होना चाहिए, हमारा लैब अच्छे होने चाहिए, हमारे क्लिनिकल एरियाज अच्छे होने चाहिए. But what about library? Library should also play. Library also has a very important role to play in a student's life when we are talking about objective-based education. So हमने यहाँ पर e-learning की बात की, हमने online books की बात की. So now here comes the role of library, the importance of e-books, the importance of digital library in today's scenario, and of course, computer is related to digital, the practicability, that the smoothness or the skill required to operate computers, as this was rightly pointed by Shalvina Anand ma'am, that computer, the skills related to communication, the skills related to computers, these are also important. So this is the thing. Next slide, please. So we must make our library also well equipped as per the technological advances and era. Next slide, please. Right. So elements of teaching competencies. As in the beginning itself, I said that competency, it will come only when teacher will be competent, learner will be competent, the environment where they are learning will be competent, the environment will be favorable to develop competencies. For example, technological competencies, the curriculum should be made in such a way that they must develop competency, that is educational competency. They must be able to understand the society or emerging demographic issues, that is social competencies, and the competency required by learner, that readiness to learn, the willingness to learn, the willingness to listen to their teachers, that is the learning competencies. Next slide. Now, this is just the examples of ICT-enabled classrooms. As I said, that our students also should get proper opportunity, so that they must have a well-equipped classrooms, a classroom where which is technology friendly, and the student must understand and get the best out of it. Next slide. These are laboratories. Laboratories should be well equipped with simulators, with ICT-enabled equipments to deliver a good education, to make a good environment conducive to learning, conducive to skill development. Next slide, please. Again, the same, some pictures of well-equipped laboratories. Next slide. Right. Now, clinical area where our students are being trained, or which is the real life practical area of students, that also should be planned selected very carefully. Students should be supervised. Students should be able to demonstrate whatever they have learned in the laboratories. They must be able to, they must be in a position to duplicate it, to re-perform it, to re-demonstrate it under the supervision of teachers. And apart from that, after that, when they will be in internship, and when they'll be working as a graduate nurses, as a registered nurses, so they must be able to perform it in the real life setting. So the preparation to be done right at the college level, or right when right from the student period of a learner. So that is quality and evidence-based clinical teaching. Teaching is not only limited to the classrooms or laboratories. The teacher should move out to the clinical area, should work with the students, and must be able to teach them in the real life setting. This is what I wanted to say. Next slide. Right. Teaching competency. Since most of us joining the webinar are teachers, so I thought to put some of the slides which will mainly enhance our competencies being a nursing teacher. So it's not just a knowledge. पहले ही मैंने बताया, it's not knowledge or skills. It involves the ability to meet complex demands by drawing and mobilizing psychosocial resources, including skills and attitude. So knowledge, skill, and attitude, जैसा हम students के लिए बात कर रहे हैं, the same thing is required for teacher also. Competency is essential to an educator's pursuit of excellence. So if I want to be an excellent teacher, if I want to stand out of crowd when nursing profession, as a nursing professional or nurse educator, so some competencies are required apart from whatever has been written in the books. I am going and I can elaborate or enumerate or dictate it, but at the same time, I must be able to in a position to demonstrate the required skills also, because when I do, then my students will be in a position to do it rightly. So a teacher must be perfect. See, everyone cannot be perfect in all the skills, but whatever I am teaching, I must be master of that. So I must assure it before going to the class. So each teacher must assure whatever he is going to teach, he must learn himself first. He must demonstrate. He must have the particular required set of skill and attitude, how to teach the subject, when to teach the subject, and how to assess the student as well. So this is the whole gist of seeing the teaching competencies. Next slide. Right. Teachers need a wide range of competencies in order to face complex challenges of today's world. Teaching competency is an inherent element of an effective training process, one that aspires to contribute to the welfare of a particular country or world itself. As I said in beginning itself, and Benny madam also, she has very nicely started the session with that the education is the manifestation of potential already present in man. Followed by which I said that the destiny of a country, it is being shaped in the classroom. So what it is, see, teaching is an inherent element, not always. It can be developed. You can improve your communication. We can improve our explanation competency. We can improve our understanding competency. And we can be better and better day by day. Be the best version of yourself about that particular topic when you are going to teach in front of the class. So that can make a whole difference. If a teacher is confident and competent, definitely the students are also going to be in same way. A confident and competent teacher will groom a confident and competent learner or student. Next slide, please. The central figures in the educational process are teachers. Yes, teachers are like the hub of the wheel. The students are gaining from the teachers. The success of training and education depends on their preparation, erudition, and performance quality. Yes, if we say that a quality of hospital, it is determined by the quality of nursing care. I can see that for an educational institution, it's the teachers which make the quality, who make the policies, who stick into it, and they achieve the set target. So it's teacher, it's the success of training and education for any educational institution or for any learner. It depends on the preparation, erudition, and performance quality of teachers over there. Next slide. Right. The teaching skills and lifelong learning competencies of professional teacher, it comprises of the following. Next slide. So what teaching skills are required? To perform complex pedagogical duties, to be well spoken. Ye sabhi ko pata hai, I need not to explain all these things. And we know that we are pursuing all these things. Those who are beginner teachers, they must polish. Those who are experienced, they keep on polishing their skills and adding to their knowledge. So याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just remember one of the best teachers who is an inspiration for you, and remember the qualities he or she possesses. That are the only qualities which you need to have in you, like to be well spoken, to be in a good mental health status, in best of your physical health, stable, tolerant, to have a prosperity, to work with the younger generation, to make a balance, because many a times when, for example, if I'll give that I am sitting as a principal, I have learned 20 years back, the students who are coming, sometimes the students and the clinical instructors, the beginners teachers, they surprise very pleasantly with their creativity, especially in the area of technology. So that gives something, we have to make a balance between the younger generation and experienced teachers. So that will give a best environment in the institute to work on. Good communicative and observational skills, tact, vivid imagination. Imagination is very important. Teacher must have possessed the imagination. If she will do this, how it will result, what it will result. And evaluation is also equally important, whatever she has imagined, whether it was right or not. Next slide. The teachers demonstrate leadership. The teachers establish a respectful environment for a diverse population of students. Again, the students comes from different backgrounds. The teacher is having her different background. So she must be in a position to handle, to tact, and to manage each and everyone in the classroom. Effective classroom management, the word comes here, and that is very important, and that every teacher needs to learn. Teachers know the content they teach. Already I have told, teachers facilitate learning for their student. Teachers reflect on their practice. Next slide. Now, effective classroom management, these are some of the competencies. Again, effective classroom management, maximizing efficiency, be the best efficient teacher be possible. Try to get the maximum number of the students should get distinction, maximum number of the students should be competent, should demonstrate good qualities when they go out in the real life situations or in clinical area. Maintaining discipline and morale. Yes, as I said, morale is very important, values are very important. Always remember, right is right, even if no one is doing it. Promoting teamwork, planning, communicating. Sometimes we plan and we keep it up to ourselves. No, if you have planned something, communicate it. Focusing on the result. Already I have spoken. Evaluating progress and making constant adjustment. Based on your evaluation, if you think that your plan need to be changed, so be flexible in that manner. Next slide. Now, this is very important, something that a good teacher is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and then shows the way. If I have never performed a BLS, how can I teach my student the BLS? So a good teacher is the one who not only knows, but I have walked to that path, and then I am showing the path to others. So that's always remember that whatever we are teaching, we must be very sure, we must be very true and very clear about the subject which we are going to teach. No one should know more than that. that up to that level of competency, that level of learning, that level of preparation is required for a teacher. So this is one of my favorite line, which I always say, that a teacher must know the way, knows the way, goes the way, and then shows the way. So this, you too can keep this in mind while doing it, while doing your daily practices, while performing your work, by taking classes, and definitely it will help you see the magic of this lovely line. Effective teaching practices represent differing viewpoints, theories, way of knowing, and methods of inquiry of the teaching subject matter concept. Again, the same thing, I need not to say, we all are educators sitting here. We know that how we have learned the management, we have learned the education, and this all things has been taught to us. The only thing I emphasize on my first line, that you must know the way, go the ways to show the way. Next slide. Multiple teaching and learning strategy. At the beginning itself, I have told that your lecture and demonstration tak limited mat rahiye. Go beyond that, explore something, bring newness to your classroom so that students will be interested to listen to you anytime. Next slide, please. Right. Now, what are nursing-based competencies? So these are the core abilities that are required for fulfilling one's role as a nurse. Therefore, it is important to clearly define nursing competency to establish a foundation for nursing education curriculum. So the basic core competency, if you will see the revised nursing syllabus, in that a circle is there where 10 competencies has been listed out. So these are the core competencies that again include the same things like communication, leadership, working independently, caring in community, in clinical settings. So these are the competency-based, nursing-based competency, and we as a nurse educator, principal, administrator, we have to see that we are giving all these learning experiences to our students. Next slide. Now, clinical-based competency, that means already we have discussed that knowledge, attitude, practice. Not only we have to learn or we have to teach the information, the student must have the ability to apply the knowledge which he has read in the classroom, ability to build interpersonal relationship, ability to provide nursing care, ability to collaborate with other professionals, to work in a team, ability to practice ethically, बार-बार बताया मैंने, professionally, ethics, moral, human values, professional ethics. That's very important. That is the key. If we are not practicing professionally, if we are not following ethics, then we are not a professionals. We will be simply delivering nursing care, and it will be, that is the thing, because we have a written policy for our conduct, for our character, how to deal with patients, how to deal with team. So that's why we call ourselves as professionals. If we are not doing it, then nursing will no longer be a profession. It will be simply an occupation. So no, nursing is a profession. It is guided by some professional ethics. We have some professional values, and we have to carry out. When a teacher carries the professional values, ultimately the same things flows into the students. So that is very important to keep in mind, to be a teacher, to be a role model, to be an inspirer to your students and team as well. Ability to expand your professional activities, yes, like associations like Nursing Teachers Association of India, Trained Nurses Association of India, and many others. So we have to expand our professional capacity by dealing with or by associating with various professional agencies as well. Ability to ensure and deliver high quality of nursing care. These are the clinical based competencies. Next slide. Now, these are the nurse educators' core competencies. If I see, so these are the points enumerated here, like individualized learning. As I said, equity and equality, iske liye individual learning is important. Use expert sessions, independence, professional values, communication skills. A teacher must have all this. A teacher must model humility. Yes, that is the key to success. Humility, humbleness, down to earth. That is the thing. That is the key to success for anyone. Critical thinking, respect the competencies, and caring, facilitate rather than control learning, see here, the teacher is not in control. The teacher's expectation from a teacher is not that she is going to control the class or she's trying to control the student. No, she must facilitate the learning. She is a facilitator for learning. Try to understand the difference. It's not that whatever I am teaching, the student are supposed to by heart or to reproduce the same word by word. No, I am there to facilitate their learning, to help them to learn on their own. So this is something which a teacher should understand. And instead of controlling learning, instead of being the master of students, be a friend to the student, be approachable, be a facilitator that the students will appreciate more. Then promote timely feedback. मैंने आपको बताया timely feedback, instant evaluation, it's the time. Agree to modeling to the professional's role and practices. Understand how adult learn, especially this is very important, especially when we are dealing with post-basic nursing student or MSc nursing students. Here the principles of adult learning very much we have to apply, and we must know it and we must practice it. Then support the acquisition of knowledge, skill and professional behaviors. Promote and expect learner according to their own pace. So these are some of the nursing educator core competencies. As a nursing educator, as a nursing teacher, as a nursing principal, we must have this characteristics in us, and try to polish it, try to refine it, try to groom ourselves. As I'm saying that every day is learning, try to learn it, be a lifelong learner. That is also a objective of a curriculum, to make a student lifelong learner. To be teacher also must be the same way. Next slide, please. Yeah, this I'll just skip fast. मैं लूंगी ये theories and principles of learning. We all have been सबने हमने पढ़ा है domains of teaching, cognitive domain, affective domain and psychomotor domain. Again यहाँ पर knowledge, attitude और skill की बात हो रही है. And nursing educator understand the contemporary educational theories, principles, models of curriculum and value of learning. So when we are going to teach, we must be aware of the curriculum, objectives क्या है, assessment steps क्या है, what are the methods of teaching prescribed by the syllabus, what extra I can add. So this planning will be required. Next slide. Curriculum and implementation. Nurse educator demonstrates skill and abilities to design, implement, monitor, manage curriculum based on sound contemporary educational models, principles, and best evidences. So when we say that evidence-based nursing, why can't it be evidence-based teaching? Yes, evidence-based nursing will start from evidence-based teaching. As a teacher, we must keep ourselves up to date with the recent advances, with the recent updates in whatever I am going to teach to the student, and to take that some of the recent advancements into my classroom. I should not stick to the old syllabus or the old curriculum or from the notes which I have learned during my student period. So we should not carry on with that. We must keep ourselves updated. We must emphasize on evidence-based teaching, which method is the best for teaching this particular topic. I must do my homework, I must utilize it, and I must give the best to my students to make the students best. Next. Like nursing educator maintains current knowledge and skills in theory and practice based on the best available evidence. Just now I told you, for best learner, best teachers are important. So keeping in mind all these competencies, I have to find out that what are the cognitive knowledge areas, what are the affective domain, or what are the psychomotor domain to achieve this competency factors. And accordingly, I should do my homework, I should be well prepared, I should never go to the class without preparation, not only for the content, but also for the class. What type of class, whom I am going to teach, what is their background level, abhi tak unhone kya sikha, how I can build the new content to them. So this is something a teacher need to do for competent teaching so that she can in turn be able to produce competent learner. Next slide. Research and evidence. Yes, nurse educators develop a critical inquiry and the ability to conduct research and utilize findings to identify and solve educational and practice-based problem. See, this is the era of research. And what basically is research? It's a blind date with knowledge. A very opt or apt definition. It's searching for knowledge. ये सब हमें पता है. But I can say that it's a blind date with knowledge. Something knowledge I have, I want to discover something more. I want to refine it. I want to put some concept. I want to test some theories. So for research, just because we are teacher, we should not stop researching. We should not stop growing. We should not stop improving ourselves. That is very important. So research and evidence, our teaching should be based on the evidence-based teaching for making our students who are able to do or perform practices based on evidences. So research, we have to promote, not only we have to do, but we have to inculcate the habit of asking why, the habit of thinking critically, the habit of thinking or making our student to analyze the situation. That is very important. So helping the student to analyze and think critically, it is the base of research where again the teacher can be facilitated. The teacher can himself do the research, that he can help the students to do it. So this is the whole thing which I wanted to portray here. Next slide. And also I can say that, next slide please, that research is the distance between an idea and its realization. This is another important point, which keeps me thinking that what really research. It's a distance between idea and realization. Based on information, some idea it come to my mind, and I am working to see that whether this idea works or not. It may work, it may not work. But when I am realizing whether the idea is working or not working, this is nothing but the research. So in this way, we have to keep on doing ourselves, keep on moving ourselves, as well as at the same time, helping our student to think critically, to analyze the situation critically, to find a solution by progressive methods. So this is nothing but research. Then communication, collaboration, and partnership. Nurse educator demonstrate effective communication skills that promote collaborative teamwork. Yes, everyone will agree with me. Teamwork, koi nayi baat nahi hai. Teamwork is important. If you want to do anything, nothing is one man show. When a team work, many brain and hands work together, and definitely it will give you the accolades which you deserve. So partnership with health professional, education, clinical practice. So as I said that we need to give variety of learning experiences to our students. So for this, we need to collaborate with many other nursing professional organization, nursing professional institution, as well as other health team professionals. Next slide. Ethical, legal principles and professionalism. Already I have explained professional values, carry the ethical ethos with you wherever you go. By seeing at you, the person in front of you should identify that what you are, the professional ethos which we are carrying, it is going to get transferred into the students. And not only we are representing the whole profession as a whole. If I am speaking, I am not only Rupa Verma, I am representing the nursing fraternity as well. So remember that wherever your acts defines you, your acts, it defines that what your profession is, how competent I am. The same thing will be carrying out by my students most of the time. Most of 1 or 3 exceptions can be there, but most of the times it happens, and you too also will agree with me in this. Next slide. Monitoring and evaluation. Yes, this is very important part. हमने सब कुछ अच्छे से कर दिया. We have planned the curriculum. We have given the best experiences. हमने बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ा दिया. But what about evaluation? Unless evaluation is being done, and who is evaluating, how is evaluating, whether this is unbiased, whether the evaluation is based on the standard principles, जैसे मैंने बताया कि OSCE and OSPE, everyone is aware of it, but whether do we are using it now in new syllabus, we have to use it. So that's why I am saying that the syllabus is competent based. It will help us to groom students in a more competent way. So here I want to emphasize that we must utilize a variety of strategies to monitor and evaluate nursing programs, the curriculum, the mastery of student learning, and the evaluation of timely feedback is very important. This is the thing which I think I missed it. Feedback from all the stakeholders, like from the students, from the parents, from the employees, from the employers, from teachers. It is required to keep on modifying our curriculum, modifying our way of teaching and learning. If we'll get the feedback, it will help us to improve. So feedback is also very important. Next. Right. Management, leadership, and advocacy. Yes, any profession, any institute, any organization, leadership is important. So nurse educator must demonstrate the skills of system management and leadership to create, maintain, and develop desired nursing programs and shape the future of educational institutions. So since we are affiliated colleges, so many of the colleges who are affiliated to universities, we are not having much scope for to modify the curriculum, but definitely we can write our feedback, we can send it to Indian Nursing Councils or TNEI or other professional bodies which can take your feedback to a higher platform or to greater platform where it can be discussed, and if found suitable, it can be incorporated in the syllabus. So nursing management, leadership, and advocacy, it's very important for the growth of the profession as a whole, and it will go a long way in grooming competent, caring, and confident nursing professionals. Next. Right, these are the methods of teaching. I need not to explain these things, just I want you to emphasize that try to bring each one of these methods in your classroom. Symposium, panel discussion, role play, group discussion, demonstration, lectures, seminars, and so on. Next slide. Project methods, field trip, exhibition, workshop, computer assisted learning, e-learning, online education. This all things need to be, we need to push all these things to be a part of our curricula as a method of teaching. Next slide. Right, micro teaching, problem-based learning, self-instructional module, simulation. You might have seen that in INC revised syllabus, it has been given that marks are there for the problem-based learning, for group projects, for micro teaching, presentations. It has been included in the syllabus. Now it's our turn to take it out of the syllabus and do it in reality. Next. Now, from the student point of view, एक बहुत ही important, बहुत ही popular model है input, process, output. So, if we apply it in the same way by Lin and Miller, we can see that student is the input. The learning experience with the student is experiencing in 4 years of teaching period or 2 years of teaching period. That is a process with whom or the process under which the students is undergoing. And the learning outcome, whether the students have achieved the objectives, that will be our product. The student is going, the product must be a competent nursing professional. And how it will be possible? By providing the best learning experiences to the student, best possible learning experiences. Next slide. Now, Bloom's taxonomy, ये हमने सबने पढ़ा है. The only thing I want, this is the modified version. I want to emphasize. Remembering, yes, information we are getting, we are rote learning is remembering. उससे ऊपर का stage होता है understanding. Above that, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and now the topmost, in the topmost, it comes creating. When our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji said that Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan के साथ साथ जब उन्होंने कहा Jai Vigyan और Jai Anusandhan. So this, what is this Anusandhan? This is research. This is creativity. This is something we are creating. We are not only learning whatever is written in the books, but we are creating a knowledge of our own that is creating, and that fulfills the process of teaching. सिर्फ मैंने पढ़ा दिया, स्टूडेंट ने पढ़ दिया और पास हो गया, that doesn't fulfill the objective of any curriculum, and that definitely that will not be a competency based teaching. So it's my responsibility that not only remembering and understanding, we have to go for higher order. Students must be able to apply it, must be able to analyze it, to think critically, to evaluate, and top of that, he must able to create, to invent, to reproduce something new. That is a date with the knowledge. Next slide. Catering to student diversity. Yes, already I have discussed inequity and equality. Just a quick review of that. Identify slow learner, advanced learner, average learner at your colleges or at your institute through their performances in the test. Then we have to provide remedial classes for slow learner. For advanced learners can be utilized for doing higher learning activities, like they can be more involved in the research group project so that their personality can be groomed in a better way. Mentor-mentee system must be in place. Special classes, if the student miss some classes, so we can, again, the matter of equity aata hai wahan par. Special classes for students who has taken late admission or who were missing from the class due to any genuine causes. Then content beyond syllabus to enrich the knowledge. Jaise maine kaha, computer ho sakta hai by sensitizing them to the environmental sensitivity, sensitizing them to the emerging demographic issues. So these are something which are not incorporated in the syllabus, but this is something which the society needs. So we must teach them to the students. Guidance for participation in various competitive exams, especially how to face the interviews, how to face, to take sessions for resume writing. This all will come under this. Peer mentoring. Sometimes many students are there who are not very comfortable with teachers, but they are comfortable with their senior students. So that peer mentoring, the concept comes, and it can add to the competencies. And expert guest lectures whenever, wherever required and wherever time permits. We must incorporate all these things in our day-to-day syllabus. When we plan our academic calendar, we must give due importance to all these things to get a more competent educational experiences by the students. Next slide, please. Yeah, feedback process मैंने बताया आपको कि feedback from all the stakeholders, आपको feedback लेना है from all the stakeholders like student, alumni, employer, teacher, parents, other health professionals. We have to analyze the feedback, discuss it in the committee, take some action of the feedback which is being provided. If everything is good, बहुत बढ़िया बात है, but ऐसा नहीं होता है. Many a times we get feedback in the areas to improve. So depending on the feedback, take some action, record it, and again in the next session, this cycle continues, and just see that whether the feedback which was provided by the students or the stakeholders, what action has been taken, and whether the students are satisfied now. That is the most important. Next slide. I think it's repeated. Next slide. Right. Now, as I said that this is an era of technology. This is an era of technological revolution. This is an era of online learning. So nursing teachers should not fall short anywhere. So this here I tried to enumerate some of the softwares where e-learning and e-teaching can be comfortably taken, and many of this we are using it also at our college. So the first is Peer Deck. Peer Deck, what it is, it's an interactive presentation tool used to actively engage students in individual and social learning. Teachers can use Peer Deck to create interactive presentations to allow students to work independently to respond to various questions through the deck. While the teacher is teaching, students can ask questions to the teacher, or teacher can ask questions to the students in the way of MCQs, and the students can answer, and the teacher will know also there that which student responded what. This will take place with the help of Google Classrooms. So this is very important. In YouTube, the whole tutorial is there. You can check it, and if possible, try to inculcate it or include it into your daily classroom practice. Next slide. Now OBS Studio, this is open broadcast software. This is also very easy to use. It is open source software for video recording and live streaming. Currently Linux, Mac and Windows builds are available. In short, what this OBS Studio is, the teachers can record their lectures here and they can send to students later on. So students who are slow learner, they can learn at their own pace. Many a times, as I said, that the slow learner के लिए हमें हो सकता है एक ज़्यादा class लेना पड़े, दो ज़्यादा class लेना पड़े. So many a times our time doesn't permit. So if we take help of these softwares, it can help us saving time. At the same time, it may help the student to learn at their own pace. After taking the lectures, the recorded lecture can be sent to the students and they can relearn. They can listen to the lecture later on their own pace and understand it in a better way. And wherever required, they can come back to you and for any further clarification if required. Next slide. All this, whatever I'm saying, the tutorials are available in YouTube. You just have a look and it's very easy to use. Mind mapping or mind master. Now this, we must use it both from the learner point of view as well as from the teacher's point of view. And it is not available in nursing books, but if you see the books of school children, many a times you can see that concept map or mind map at the end of every chapter, it's there. For example, say, if I say that, for an example of nephrotic syndrome. So nephrotic syndrome, the definition in one line, what are the characteristics in another line, what are the causes, pathophysiology, treatment, everything on one page. This is known as mind map. The students will learn in detail at the beginning and further to enhance learning, to enhance remembering the same and to reproduce the same at the time of exam. Mind mapping is very useful and everyone should practice. Teachers should practice as well as students can create their own mind map also. The render forest. Yeah, next slide. Render Forest is awesome software for creating video content. It's very useful in making explained videos, short videos, promo. Suppose, for example, I want to make a video to promote today's webinar. I can make a short videos of 2 to 3 minutes with the help of this, and this will help to put the content in an attractive way in the form of a video. Next slide. Kahoot.com, this is very interesting. It is a game-based learning platform. It is used as educational technology in schools and other educational institutions. In this also, the teachers can put the question in the form of MCQs and the students can answer. See, in the revised syllabus, again, the concept of MCQs, it is mentioned and the evaluation to be done. Some question will be based on MCQs. So to practice that, this is the best software which we can opt for in our classrooms. Next slide. Right. So nursing educator core competencies can be assessed at 3 levels. First will be self-assessment. Second, it will be assessment at institute level. And third, assessment at national level or national evaluation. So it is something individualization, internalization, and nationalization. So at a evaluating not only if I am satisfied, that doesn't matter. My institute should also be satisfied with the type of learning experiences we are giving. And at the same time, we must say that what are the national importance? What are the policies at national level? Whether our students are able to cater to that. So this assessment can be done of any curriculum, of any teaching, of any competency at these 3 levels. Next slide. Nursing educational institutions are encouraged to develop a competency testing tool to monitor and evaluate aspects of the 8 domains, core competencies and related competencies. So we must be having jo core competencies, jo objectives diya gaya hai syllabus mein, whether we are able to achieve it. For that, we must have a tool for assessment, and every institute must develop a tool to evaluate the same. Next slide. Now, this is one of the things which I really want you to know. These words are given by Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. And what he said that whatever information we are giving, this is called as 5 I's. 5 I's, and this is not EYES, this is I, capital I. 5 I's of innovation and research. First is information. Whatever information we are giving to our students sitting in our classroom or in our laboratories, the student must be able to imagine it. Imagine. Second I is for imagination. Now, third I is for intuition. Based on the information he received from the teacher or from the books, and based on his imagination, he has some intuition, he has some ideas, he has some guts feeling, he has some thinking that it can be done in this way. This thing can be, this concept can be modified, or this is the new concept can come in the picture, like that type of things. Now, the fourth stage is integration. So integration of what? Integration of first 3 I's. Integration of information, imagination, and intuition. If a student will be able to do this, that means he has reached to the stage of integration. Now, when he integrates all these things, the net result will be innovation, innovation, and only innovation. So information to be converted into imagination, to be converted in intuition, integration of information, imagination, and intuition must take place to have innovation, which is our goal, which जैसे मैंने Bloom's taxonomy में बताया, the higher level creativity, the purpose of our teaching will be fulfilled then only. So this is the 5 cycle, and as a teacher, we must promote students to imagine, to have some intuition, listen to their ideas, help them to integrate, and come with the something new, something novice. Next slide. Now, take home message. Competency-based teaching is required to develop competent, confident, concerned, and compassionate nursing professional. अगर मैं एक तराजू की बात करूं, if I'll say about a fulcrum, on one base or on one side, I'll keep competent and competency, and on the other, if the net result, or to balance it, concerned and compassionate. If I am giving competent education or competency-based nursing education, if I am making competent and confident nursing professional, definitely they will be concerned and compassionate towards their duties. Then high-tech and high-touch model of teaching to be practiced by nurse educators. Already I have explained this. High-tech along with technology. Don't forget the traditional ethos, the traditional values, the traditional caring. We have to make a balance and go ahead. Next slide. Competency-based, we as a nurse educators and leaders are committed to prepare graduate nurses of the people, by the people, for the people, and not of the robots, by the robots, for the robots. This line touches my heart, that we have to prepare the nurses from our society, from the people, by the people, and for the people, and not of the robots. This not to be mechanized, not to be only bookish, not to be only limited to the information, because we are not making robots, we are making nurses. Next slide. Yeah. So, dear teachers, thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope that I did justice to the topic given to me. Some of the skills, again, just to enumerate, that we need technical skills, we need scientific skills, we need moralistic skills, we need humanistic skills, and we need attitude and professional ethics to carry on. So, all the best to all of you. Inspire creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, so that students are ready for tomorrow's world. Remember, we are working locally to groom our students so that they can make their presence felt globally. Thank you. Any suggestions, any comments, any interactions, any questions are most welcome. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an excellent session, I must say. We all had a brainstorming session.
I have the take-home message I have pasted in the chat box also. If any one of you want, can read it and take the privilege. Thank you.
Really, madam, you did justice with the topic, and we are also really benefited with that. And many of the areas where we were lacking, we will take it to consideration and we will do the best for our profession. Thank you, ma'am.
If anybody is having any doubt, you can post in the chat box, or you can either raise your hand. We'll unmute you and then we'll give you chance to ask the question. So I think no doubt. So thank you so much, ma'am, for such a fabulous session. We are blessed to have you as our resource person.
Privilege is all mine. Privilege is all mine, having you and sharing the platform with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, it's the time to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good things that comes to you, and to give thanks to continuously, because all things have contributed to our advancement. Our attitude must include all things in our gratitude. Now I hand over the mic to Professor Shabina Ben, Madam, Principal Sri Jagadguru Shankaracharya College of Nursing, Raipur, and NTA Senior Advisor, Chhattisgarh Branch, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
दिख रही है ना?
Hello.
Yes,
madam,
ma'am,
we
you are
can hear.
audible.
Okay. Thank you, Benny Madam, for providing me this opportunity. A warm good afternoon to one and all the dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, and students present over here. On behalf of Nursing Teacher Association of India, it's my privilege to give vote of thanks. I extended my heartfelt gratitude to Almighty God to give strength and wisdom for smoothly completed of today's national webinar. I expect my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Farooq Sir, National President of NTAI, Mr. Manish Sir, Secretary, NTAI branch, and Mrs. Poonam Thakur Madam, NTAI branch. I express deepest thanks of appreciation to Dr. Mrs. Shelvina Dinan, President of NTAI Chhattisgarh branch, for her guidance, support, and constant help. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to today's speaker, Dr. Rupa Verma, Principal Sitabai Narnunkar, College of Nursing for Women, Nagpur, Maharashtra, for excellent, valuable thoughts and presentation. It is very valuable and helpful for all of us in future also. My sincere thanks to Dr. Mrs. Uma Shinde Madam, Vice President of NTAI CG branch, and Professor, Government College of Nursing, Rajnandgaon, for their continued encouragement for all of us. I extended my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Mrs. Benny Susan Chaku ma'am, Secretary of Nursing Teacher Association of India, CG branch, for always supporting and guidance. I may like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Mrs. Bhuneshwari Das, Joint Secretary, NTAI branch of Chhattisgarh, for your constant support and help. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to Mr. Jishnu Vasavan sir, Treasurer, Mrs. Shobhi Sanjeev ma'am, and Nitin Sonbar sir, Executive Member of NTI Chhattisgarh branch, for their untired supports and all arrangements. I specifically thank the people who have been the backbone of this webinar, Mr. Balkrishnan sir and Mrs. Deepshikha Dubey madam, media in charge of NTAI Chhattisgarh branch, and Mr. Vikas Sahu sir, Associate Professor, Apollo College of Nursing, for his technical support and guidance. At last, once again, I want to grateful to all our NTAI members and students over here with us and gracing this webinar with your warm presence. A big thankful to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shabina madam. Once again, thanking you all on behalf of Nurses Teachers Association of India, Chhattisgarh branch. Hoping to see you all very soon with other webinar. Till then, bye and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The feedback link is posted in the group as well as in the YouTube. You can fill the feedback link and then only you will be given the e-certificate.